Hey everybody, I'm Stephen Totillo, Editor-in-Chief of Kotaku, and I'm introducing a video that you're about to see. And the video you're going to see is something that we shot on Monday when we first got our first retail PlayStation 4. And I mentioned this in the review of the PS4, that there was something wrong with that unit. We swapped it out. The new one we've gotten has worked great since then. And you're going to see me show you the differences between a functional unit and a non-functional. And we isolated it down on Monday to an HDMI port and an issue with that. And since then we've gotten more clarity, so I just wanted to put this intro in front to let you know what we think has happened, and then you get to see some of the footage. Basically, it looks like the HDMI port, a piece of metal that was inside the port, must have gotten lifted up and then bent back when we were putting the HDMI cable in. And in fact, we've looked at some of our cables and we see that they're missing some teeth. So this end had been plugged into the faulty jack on the PlayStation 4. That piece of metal had knocked some of the teeth out. We found out, we'd heard from Sony that they got in touch with us and they said, look, we've actually tested your unit. And they tell us that they were actually able to take a pin, go into the jack and push that piece of metal down, plugged an HDMI cable back into the unit, and now the connection was great. So you're going to see, we wanted to show people, because we mentioned this in the review and I wanted everybody to see what it seemed like was going wrong. Now we have an explanation. We have no evidence in the last couple of days that this is a widespread issue. We've not seen or heard from anybody with this exact issue, but we felt it would be irresponsible to not mention it. And it would also be irresponsible not to tell you that we think we diagnosed the problem. We think there's an easy fix if you see it. And hopefully this was just a fluke. Who knows why that piece of metal was up? We didn't raise it up. Who knows? But now we've got a fix. So carry on with the video that we shot on Monday. What you're looking at is actually the back of two PlayStation 4s. These are retail models. And we want to show you something. We don't want to get you too alarmed because we don't know if this is a complete fluke or if this is going to be a widespread thing. Honestly, don't know. But of these two PS4s that we got from Sony, one of them works, one of them doesn't. The HDMI wire, we've tried a bunch of different wires, a bunch of different monitors, by the way, and we've narrowed it down, those not being the issue. This HDMI wire, which is our own, we also tried the one that came with the unit. When I try to plug it into the unit here, it actually goes in nice and far, right? So if you can look actually closely, you see there's like a little kind of horizontal line, then it goes up, then it goes over. Good stuff, right? Okay, I'm going to plug it into the other unit here, and you're going to see that I can't really get it in that securely. It doesn't really operate all that. It doesn't really connect in all that well. And that is going to be the fundamental difference. So again, I'll show you on the other unit here, a much more snug connection. Okay, so now I want to show you what the consequence of that is. And this is, of course, how we discovered that there was an issue. So I got the power cable, and I have the HDMI cable in as much as I can go on the PS4 unit that did not work. I've got the unit down. I've got it plugged into a monitor. We troubleshooted this on a couple of different monitors and a couple of different HDMI cables, and again isolated the issue down to being the HDMI jack. So I've turned the system on. Blue on the LED light means that it is trying to turn itself on. White is when it thinks it's successfully turned itself on, and the TV is flashing. It's kind of an error signal. The console cycles itself off, tries again with the blue light. It'll try to go to a white light once it thinks that it's on all the way. Blue light still. Our TV screen, it's gone white light. Our TV screen is black. This got us worried. We thought, oh my goodness, we got a lemon. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this console off. So I'm pressing the power button to try to get it to go off. It's power cycling, so forgive me here, but not really sure how you cancel it off. So sorry, PlayStation 4, I know this is not advised, but we're just going to undo your power cable. We're going to put in the good unit. This is the unit where the HDMI goes in all the way, and where we can put in the power cable all the way. Press the power button. Blue light. Check out the TV, PlayStation logo. And since we haven't really gotten anything going with the system yet, it's just going to be doing its initial boot up sequence. Checking some storage status, safe mode, and what have you, because of how we've turned it on and turned it off a few times. But we're essentially in. We've got a PlayStation 4 operating. So buyer beware. Maybe ask them to check your HDMI connection before you get the unit. If you do have trouble, this would be possibly one reason why. So just make sure that that HDMI cable is getting all the way in there. And once it does, you should be able to get your PlayStation 4 on successfully, which is, I think, what we've finally been able to do over here.
We saw the people that he was planning on working with to do the project, so it was to be co-authored with William Burroughs. We see David Byrne in there. Parts of the game were to star Grace Jones. The artwork was supposed to be done by Keith Haring.